In an African village, there lived a couple named Amandi and Rafu. They were renowned throughout the region for their great generosity, their humility, and the immense love they had for each other. However, despite their happy life filled with joy, they felt a deep sadness piercing their hearts. They had been married for 15 long years and had still not been blessed with a child. With each new birth in the village, Rafa showered the baby with gifts, nurturing the hope that by offering her affection and presence, the gods would reward her with a much-desired child. But as the years went by, her longing to see a little one roaming their home grew stronger and stronger. Desperate, Rafu would retreat to her room after every naming ceremony, shedding bitter tears and fervently praying to the gods. "Please, gods of this land," she pleaded through her sobs. "Even if the child is born blind or disabled, I don't care. All I ask for is a child to fill the emptiness in my heart." One day, as Rafu wept silently, Amandi walked in and gently embraced her to soothe her pain. "Do not lose hope, my beloved Rafu," he whispered tenderly. "Even if our path is rocky, remember I am here for you. Together we will face any obstacle, guided by our love even in the darkest of nights." Looking at him with gratitude in her eyes, Rafu realized that although they still did not have the child they yearned for, they had each other, and that bond was priceless. Their days continued filled with love and solidarity. But that sorrow weighing on Rafu's heart lingered without cease. On her way to the farm, deep in the forest, tears flowed like a fountain. She raised her voice in a plea to the gods. "Oh, mighty gods," she cried, "why is my life filled with such misery? Am I cursed? While others rejoice in their children's laughter, I remain alone in my solitude. When will my prayers be heard? Even if I only have one child, even if not perfect, I beg you, grant me this favor." Her cries broke through the stillness of the forest and seemed to reach the ears of ancient spirits dwelling among the trees. Suddenly, a soft voice emerged from the leaves, brimming with promise and hope. "Rafu, daughter of this land," it whispered, "do not fear, for your pleas have not gone unheard. The gods have listened to your prayers, and soon your womb shall bear life. In a few weeks you will conceive twins. One will grow with extraordinary greatness, while the other will take a different path. But heed this warning. They will be born with hair that must never be cut. Otherwise, catastrophe shall befall you." Could this truly be happening? Rafu wondered with a trembling voice. Were her years of sorrow finally coming to an end? With her heart racing and hands shaking, she rushed home to tell Amandi of this divine message. But her husband received the story with skepticism. "My beloved Rafu," he said tenderly yet with doubt, "I know how much you want a child, but do not let your desperation cloud your judgment. Perhaps someone was playing a trick on you, and you believe them. We can't fully trust such extraordinary tales." Despite his doubts, Rafu could not shake the feeling that the voice she heard spoke a truth deeper than Amandi could fathom. So she kept praying with fervor, holding on to the god's promise in her heart. Indeed, a few weeks later, she became pregnant. Months passed, and she gave birth to two beautiful children whom they named Obi and Chuka. The entire village celebrated their arrival with a grand naming ceremony. 5 years passed, and the twins Obi and Chuka grew up surrounded by the community's affection. One day, they were happily playing in the backyard when suddenly, a venomous snake appeared, ready to strike Mr. Amandi, who was nearby. Without a second thought, Obi acted swiftly, catching and subduing the reptile, saving his father's life. Amandi stood there astonished, his heart brimming with gratitude and surprise. With trembling hands, he called for Rafu to witness their son's feat upon arriving. Rafu gaped at Obi, who stood tall with pride and felt a powerful wave of emotion. "Do you remember the voice that spoke to me years ago?" she asked her husband excitedly. "The one that promised us a child of immense power. Could it be that Obi is the one chosen to fulfill that prophecy and become the great hero we were told of?" That day, Rafu prepared a feast to honor Obi's bravery. While the family sat at the table, Amandi and Rafu praised the boy's courage, though they could not hide a touch of concern. "Obi, my brave son," Rafu said carefully, "you should have called your father. What if something had happened to you? With modesty and conviction, Obi replied, "Mom, Dad, there was no time to waste. If I had called out, I might have startled Dad, or the snake could have attacked him. I acted quickly to protect him." Amid compliments and hugs, a small dark shadow began to grow in Chuka's heart as he felt overshadowed by the attention lavished on his younger brother. A few days later, as they returned from the farm, Chuka approached his father to ask him to cut his dreadlocks, tired of having such long hair. Mr. Amandi remembered the words of that mysterious voice, which had told them not to oppose if any of their children wanted to cut their hair. Without hesitation, Amandi grabbed a pair of scissors and cut off Chuka's dreadlocks. Chuka felt a wave of relief and grew happier and lighter with his new appearance. One unfortunate day, a hunter set out into the wilderness, hoping to catch game to sell at the market and support his family. Venturing deeper into the thicket, he met a dreadful fate. A huge lion, hidden among the foliage, attacked him mercilessly, taking his life. As night fell and the hunter did not return, his worried wife went to the king for help. Distressed, the monarch sent out a group of veteran hunters and strong young men to search for the missing man. After an arduous search, the team encountered a horrific scene: the hunter's lifeless body, a victim of the savage lion attack. Overcome by shock and grief, they carried the corpse back to the village. News of the tragedy spread quickly, sowing fear and uncertainty throughout the community. The authorities urged everyone not to venture out alone to the fields or go hunting, as some unknown danger lurked among the brush. Gathering in the village square, the villagers looked alarmed and perplexed. "Have we angered the gods?" asked one, visibly scared. "Could we have done something to offend them?" Others nodded, sharing the same concern. "Is it possible that it might be that there's a dangerous animal nearby?" someone remarked, glancing nervously at the surrounding forest. As they discussed, their fear grew. "We have to find out what's going on," declared one brave villager. "Let's work together to solve this and restore peace to our village." With a renewed sense of purpose and unity, the villagers organized themselves to confront the threat that disturbed their peaceful existence. Led by the most experienced hunters, they ventured into the deepest part of the jungle, burdened by their fears but determined to protect their people. However, their hopes were shattered when a majestic and fearsome lion emerged from the shadows, imposing its presence with size and ferocity. In a flash, the beast attacked mercilessly, claws and teeth unleashed with fury, and the villagers were unable to stop it. Despite their brave efforts, the hunters were no match for the lion's unrelenting power. Chaos reigned, and tragedy befell them. Only one hunter managed to escape with his life and return to the village, with a harrowing tale that shook everyone's hearts. Hearing his account, the villagers sank into sorrow and grasped the seriousness of the danger looming over their home. Far from giving in to despair, the villagers resolved to unite more than ever. With voices that rose in a cry of defiance and urgency, they marched to the king's palace. Their gazes were filled with determination as they begged the monarch to act against the relentless threat devastating the village. "This must stop," they exclaimed with desperation and pent-up fury. "Your Majesty, we cannot keep losing our loved ones to that monster. We implore you to protect us from this deadly danger." The king, standing tall on his throne, answered with a grave yet hopeful voice. "Do not fear, my loyal subjects," he declared resolutely. "I swear we will find a way to rid ourselves of this calamity and restore peace to our village." However, one villager, his patience worn thin by empty promises, spoke openly. "Your Majesty, we are tired of waiting. We need action, not just words." In an attempt to calm the people's anger, the king issued a decisive decree. "Hear me, everyone. Whoever is able to defeat the mighty lion and bring it before me will receive a generous reward," he proclaimed. "I will split the village in two, and the victor will receive one part as a trophy and have the honor of marrying one of my daughters." Excitement rippled through the crowd at the king's offer. Many suddenly felt ready to risk everything to hunt the fearsome lion, eager for the promised reward and hopeful for a better future. When Obi and Chuka arrived home, now 20 years old, Obi announced his intention to face the lion terrorizing the village. Rafu was struck speechless, her eyes filled with terror and concern. "No, son, you cannot go," she exclaimed, trying to hold back the tremor in her voice. "We have only just found a semblance of peace with you and your brother. I can't even imagine you risking your life in that cursed forest." But Obi, determined to defend his people, replied calmly, "Mother, I am not doing this for the reward, but for the well-being of our people. Someone has to put an end to this slaughter and restore tranquility to the village." Then Amandi appeared, wearing the same worried expression as Rafu. "No, my son. We can't allow you to put yourself at risk like that," he said, his tone both firm and sorrowful. "We don't want to lose you or your brother." Seeing his parents' distress, Obi held back, recognizing the anguish his determination caused them. "I promise, mother and father," he assured quietly. "I will not go against your wishes. I won't jeopardize our family's happiness or safety." With tears of relief, Rafu and Amandi embraced their son, comforted that he would remain by their side. However, at midnight, Obi could not sleep. He felt restless, as though something were calling him from deep within the forest. He woke Chuka and whispered, "I'm going into the forest to hunt the lion. Don't tell our parents." Chuka looked at him in shock. "Brother, why? Our parents are older. Do you want them to worry?" Yet Obi's decision was set. He donned simple armor, armed himself with a sword, and set off into the darkness of the forest with the determination of a true warrior. Watching him disappear, Chuka smirked to himself, harboring dark thoughts. "Let him go and never return alive. That way, I'll have our parents to myself. I want Obi gone. He may be younger, but they always seek his approval in everything. Even the villagers and the girls favor him. Let him go, and we'll see how he plans to defeat that mighty lion," he muttered, smiling as he observed Obi vanish into the night. Greetings, everyone. If you're enjoying this story as much as we are, we need your support to keep the magic going. Please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, share this video with your friends, and turn on notifications so you won't miss a thing. Let us know in the comments if you can't wait for the second part. Get ready for more twists and surprises in this thrilling story. Your support makes it all possible. If this video has helped you connect more deeply with yourself and inspired you on your journey of growth, take action and subscribe to Vidasta Inspirations channel to discover more stories that will fill you with motivation and hope. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment letting me know how this story has impacted your life or the insights you've gained from it. And if you think this message could inspire someone you know, share it with your friends so they, too, can find inspiration and purpose in their lives.